All right. Hey, Tyler, thanks for getting this started. So we've got an attendee on with us. Great. Tara, welcome. If you want to even jump on, hey, we can have you talk if you'd like. We're going to be giving a demo in a minute here. Well, we've got our two things to show today, actually. One is going to be the third-party application where we embed a player on any website. And we can talk a little bit about technically how this works. I've actually got to go get the door right now. So, Tyler, could you bring that up and show Sedalia Democrat? I'll jump right back on.
Sure thing. All right, so this is Sedalia Democrat. This is not a customer using our full WordPress platform, but we are using our audio articles and audio article podcast feature as a third party there. So you'll see here on this right-hand column, we have the Buzzsprout audio article player, and it just integrates straight into the website. It'll convert every article that is uploaded to the website into an audio file that's then put on an RSS feed, and that's how it gets onto the player. But it's as easy as just hitting
Support
this.
local journalism. Subscribe today for only 99 cents for your first month. SedaliaDemocrat.com/99. Help send an airman home for the holidays. The annual Whiteman Air Force Base Bomber Ball will be hosted November 12th. The Sedalia Area Chamber of Commerce is looking for Sedalia area businesses to donate items for a Sedalia area auction basket. All proceeds from the auction will help send 20 airmen home for the holidays. To donate items, contact the Sedalia Chamber at 660-826-2222 or Deborah@sedaliachamber.com. The Base Community Council is also looking for sponsors for the event.
And yeah, it'll
Beautiful.
just play right
Love
there.
it. Thank you, Tyler. That's a great demo of basically like one application of this technology. So just to catch everyone up, I know people are still rolling in. What we're looking at here is a third-party integration on the Sedalia Democrat. If we could scroll up really quick and just give everyone the context. This is a daily paper that isn't using our hometown CMS. And again, just a little bit more background. We do WordPress websites for newspapers primarily, but we've developed audio articles as a third-party tool. So you can add a player like this to any website. It's pretty interesting how it works. And we've kind of developed this roundabout way of creating the audio content from the articles on third-party sites. And I think maybe it would make sense to talk about that a little bit. I don't suppose you have in your favorites or in your history the Sedalia Democrat demo site, Tyler. Is that, I mean, if it's possible to pull up.
Let's see. I can
not a
just
big deal.
check and see if I can pull up the URL if you want.
Yeah, if you just type Sedalia again, it might just autofill is what I'm thinking. That's yeah, down there. Oh no, those are all the real site.
Yeah.
Well, what it is basically we would set up a WordPress prototype as if we were going to host your website, but this would be a prototype that just exists out online. No one would see it. No one would have access to it. And we would take an RSS feed from your current CMS and feed it over to that website. And then we would turn all the articles into audio, and then we feed them back in through this player. And the other cool thing that we can do at the same time is syndicate all these episodes to podcast apps. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So you can actually have a show for the Sedalia Democrat newspaper could have a podcast that's automatically generated from the articles on the site. So this is a really exciting way to get into podcasting and get your brand out there in front of people that are listening to podcasts, which is a growing market all the time. What's the latest stat that we saw, Tyler, in one of those articles? Was it on a weekly basis, what percentage of Americans listen to podcasts? I believe
It's
it
over
was
50 at this
it
point.
was over 50. Yeah, I thought it was somewhere in the 50% range. So, I mean, that's a big deal. Tara, thank you for the question. Does it require any other formatting each day? Do papers do it each day? Right. So the formatting, there is no formatting required. This is designed to work completely automatically, just as you're producing your website today. This would just be a natural extension of it. The one thing that I would say, some publishers do want to fine tune what comes into the podcast. So the only formatting, quote unquote, would be assigning categories to the articles that you want in the podcast. So we can either pull everything from the website and just make the podcast a reflection of the website, or if you want a level of control to fine tune what goes into the podcast, then you can create a category, let's say, call it podcast, and then just give us the RSS feed for that category. And that would be the easiest way to do that. So papers do it every day. If they're publishing on the website every day, then this would naturally update every day. It's just, it's instantly updated. So it really is a true reflection of what's on the website in audio format. Great questions. Let me know if you have any others. Let's see. So let's switch over and talk a little bit about what we can do. What we are recording this, and Tara, what I was thinking we could do is maybe share this link somehow with folks, either on the platform, on social media, and they could just see what would be possible if they wanted to move to our hometown to take advantage of the full audio articles platform. Then we start getting into this area of customizable playlists. Right here, we have a playlist, and we can create, basically a chronological playlist that's based on when articles are published on the site, and that's all through this app. But if you were on our hometown's WordPress platform, like the Henrico Citizen is, we can do a lot more. So Tyler, can you walk us through? I love how you describe this area. This is basically an app that we've created. It works on mobile native apps, but this is the web version. Go ahead and walk us through this.
All right, so this is basically the entire audio articles podcast hub for the Henrico Citizen. And essentially, like, it's designed to kind of mimic what you would see from like a Spotify or an Apple Podcasts. Everything's really cleanly laid out in these modules. And here you'll find just a bunch of different playlists. If somebody is looking to listen to a specific section, all of the categories are separated out down here. Or if someone wants to know like the most listened to audio articles, the newest stuff, here are just the feed of the most recent things posted in chronological order.
Right.
But let's see if we can find one that's going to be.
And one thing I want to point out about this as you're looking, Tyler, is that this is just what we've come up with for the default settings. I mean, we can slice and dice these articles into any number of playlists. For example, we could create a playlist for a certain author. That would be a very easy thing to do because we have all this structured data. So we're looking for ideas on that. Actually, we had a customer recently that asked for a custom collection at the top. So we're working on that, but the collections are cool. Thank you. I was going to say, let's switch to mobile because we can see that this is very much designed for the mobile app. And, this really, our engineer is a big fan of Spotify, like you said. So he definitely took a lot of inspiration from that. Tara has another question. Are those pictures the featured picture in WordPress? Yep. WordPress. So you can imagine how this would work. It's really just designed to be as streamlined as possible. So yeah, it's always going to just automatically take that first picture and assign it to the featured. Yep.
And maybe we could pop into like recreation.
Yeah, let's see this. This is an article. Well, on mobile, you got two things. Tell us what's going on here, first of all.
So this is the full playlist. This is just a playlist of all of the stories with recreation in the category.
Right.
And then here at the bottom is the top story in the player. So
to place your audio ad here, contact us at citizen@henricocitizen.com. Henrico resident among top finishers at Phoenix Bass Fishing League on James.
Yeah. And then I believe
To place your audio ad here. To place your
if
audio
we
ad
hit it
here.
again, it'll just restart. But essentially, like, this will just play straight through all of these stories. So you don't have to
Right.
go clicking
Right.
from one to the other. And that's great for someone that wants to listen to the newspaper in the car or while they're
Right.
doing chores. So you don't have to constantly sit there tapping your phone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a really fundamental point that we didn't recognize initially, and we'll talk about this in a minute. But the original iteration of audio articles was on the article level, and you could listen to one story at a time. But the playlist was a big breakthrough for us. This is a category playlist. So exactly as you said, if you want to listen to, just hit play once and listen to the whole paper, the recreation section. Actually, you would listen for the last couple of weeks in this case, because it goes back in time pretty quickly there. Then this is where you would do it. So we have a couple questions here. I want to make sure we get to this. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, the pictures. I want to look at some other stories to focus on the pictures in a second. But do the papers have to record their own audio ads for advertisers? Great question. They do not record them. It's automatically generated by text that they type in through the audio articles plugin. So they do have to set it. And once they set it, the way it works right now is once they set it, it's going to put that as a pre-roll ad on every article on the website that's published after that. And if they change it again, then going forward, it's a new ad. What we want to do is very soon, this is coming, they're working on it in engineering right now to be available probably before the end of the year, is dynamic ad insertion. So we can create multiple ads and say, play the highest priority ad, the highest ranked ad, first in the playlist, and then, play these other ads every 5 articles or something. So we could space it out a little bit more and have variation. But right now it's a premium position that one advertiser owns. Now let's talk a little bit about the other playlists here. This is a great tutorial. This is turning into, by the way, so we'll just share this with our customers too. But let's see. Let's click on the new articles. Let's work our way up. So this is the next section. New articles are just chronological, the most recent stories on the site. Click on any one of those and let's see what happens.
Restaurant Watch.
Playlist. Okay, when it
October
puts
4th.
together the playlist in
Rock
this
Bottom
case,
Restaurant and
it turns out that the most related stories to the Restaurant Watch are all in the Restaurant Watch category, and they just go back in time. So that's basically like a category. Let's go back and look at a different story. That second one there might be good.
Local Teens Ace highlights first day of Dominion Energy Charity Classic Pro-Am.
Okay, so this is different. We see a lot of different categories here. So what is driving this playlist is our related stories recommendation engine. So we are looking at the proper names, the named entities, people, places, events that are mentioned in the first story, the source article, which is the one that we clicked on about the Pro-Am. And then we show other stories that mention the same things, so it's basically like a related stories. We're trying to predict what you'd be interested in based on what you clicked on, essentially. So that's an exciting thing. That's a feature that's already on the website in text format. So at the bottom of articles, there's usually read more from. We're using the related stories recommendations there too. But I think this is exciting because it's virtually endless playlists. You can click on any article and you're going to get a playlist based on that article. And if you click on that same article a month later, you're going to get a different playlist because there may be more stories that, mention those people. So it's an exciting overlap of our technologies there. We got a couple questions here. So they include this as part of their digital subscription, or is it in front of the paywall? Great question. Sedalia Democrat, I think they're a free paper, so they didn't really need to make a decision. They just put that playlist on the front and it's playing everything. In the case of a paywalled site, I've seen both cases. At Wilson County News in Texas, let's pull up their site just for example here. What they're doing is both Buzzsprout and the playlist generator page. So she's got Buzzsprout on the right because she wants to be in all the podcast apps. I think it's down here somewhere. There it is. That's in front of the paywall, but the whole website is behind the paywall otherwise. Now, that's just because we're using a third party called Buzzsprout to do it. When we rebuild that player, we're going to probably do it differently. Let's click on her playlist, though. You're not logged in, so the majority of the playlist will be behind the paywall.
Audio articles on Wilson County News.
Looks like obits are free. But let's see. Try another section there.
Audio articles on Wilson County News.
So yeah, I guess you're hitting most of the free sections, but
Yep.
Definitely I can say that we can separate it. And what would happen there is if you go into a playlist for a story, let's say, because there are some stories that can be free too, so you can get a mix in the playlist. If you click on a free story, then it would recommend a list of related articles. It would just skip the ones that are behind the paywall. So you could still kind of enjoy the metered experience and just listen to the audio articles that are free on that playlist. One thing we're curious about is if there's any interest. We haven't actually launched one of these yet, but we've had publishers asking about it. If there's interest in it, in a audio only subscription product. We'll have to wait and see. But right now it's just a value add for the digital subscribers. Keep it simple like that. Let's see. So since we're on here, actually we should probably go to Henrico. I think let's go back to the playlist. And yeah, so the last thing I just wanted to point out is the collections, which you did touch on earlier. Again, we're looking for ideas on this. If anyone, wants to drop a comment on this video later, or, in the chat now, like what kind of collection of articles would be interesting. I mentioned author-based, topic-based. Is this something that you think users would engage with if they could create a collection and follow a specific topic and just, basically keyword search, type in, anything that's not covered by a category. I mean, it could be just something, or if there would be some way when they're on the article to be able to like select the article, a term mentioned in the article, and be able to follow it there. We're open to ideas on the UI, but these are the things that made sense to us just as working mostly with weekly newspapers. We have these weekly playlists. So you can really just literally listen to the newspaper through the playlist. So I think that's all that I had on that. Tyler, anything you want to add before we just go look at the article player?
No, I think we hit about everything I can think of.
Sounds good.
So other than maybe the fact that we can add ad spaces to the player.
Yes. Can we look at actually the Chesterfield example real quick? Because that I think is the only one that is actually that I can think of. Let's see. It would be down there, the third from the bottom, right?
Sorry,
I think if you back up all the way to then just add audio -articles. So the other thing about this feature is this hub, it's like a sinkhole. I mean, if we're on the homepage real quick, let's just go to Chesterfield Observer's homepage. I just want to make sure this is clear. So we kind of brushed over it earlier, and we'll look at the ad when we get back to it. But like, if we go down the homepage, we've got all these red, well, they're blue in this case, blue links. I actually like the blue. You see, this is how you get into the player. You can either listen to a playlist based on that article. And so we're tapping into the homepage audience in this way. Or you can listen to a playlist from the category, and that's that top link right under top stories. So either one, let's just click that and it'll bring us into the player.
Audio articles is
still has the ad. So the ad is across the whole playlist hub, right? Every page. I like it up there. I think originally they had it over on the right or something. That's much more natural up there. And so, this is just, if nothing else, like one thing that we could do as a third party is set up a page like this. Like we can create a page like this as a subdomain on your current site, again, without you changing anything about your CMS. So we can have the player on the homepage, and then this separate site, if you're familiar with how subdomains work, if you have a website, then you can have a subdomain related to that website that's technically a separate site. So we can set this up as like, audio.newspaper.com, and you could have a page just like this. You could run your local advertisers there. We would be able to deliver all the stats on that, or we could run an ad network on here. But the fact is, like, this is drawing an audience. It's very attractive. People, like I said, it's like a sinkhole from that homepage, not in a bad way, but people are there's just plenty of opportunities for people to tap into this. So we're seeing a lot of clicks, a lot of engagement, and a lot of views. So I think it's something that would be a pretty turnkey add-on to any website. Let's see here. Now let's anything else. So we got the ad. I mean, there's not really much else to the ad. I think eventually we're going to, when we have the dynamic ads, there'll be more options for displaying them. But look at that. So you're rotating an ad group through there.
Right.
So that's using the same ad rotate technology that we use across the site. So it's pretty seamless. You can just run the same ads that you have on the homepage. Cool. So navigating to the homepage, how do we get back there easily? Because we're constantly getting pulled into this. We could, I think actually that header just links here. So
yeah, this just takes us right here.
Yeah. So this is a good UI test. I'm not sure. Do you know how to get back?
I actually have not had to. So
okay. That's okay. Wait, that's a good test.
If I remember right, it's down here.
It is at the bottom.
Zoom bar was covering it.
Hopefully people are trained to look at the bottom, but you never know. Right. Maybe we need clearer indications, like a colored button down there.
It's really intuitive for mobile, but
yes, it is.
Maybe browser wise, we should switch it.
Well, and also when Zoom is hiding it, it's kind of hard.
Right.
Okay, cool. So you're logged in. This is a paywalled site, but we can log in. Let's just go look at an article and show what the original version of this technology was. It's just basically increased accessibility is one benefit, creating more content on your website. We've always been of the philosophy that you want to maximize the value and the reach of the print content. So for 25 years, we've been extracting articles from print to HTML. All this is the natural extension of that, from HTML to audio. We already have it, extracted and structured. So we just feed it into this translator, and it sounds very realistic. You can choose from many different voices. But this was like, I show this last now because I used to show it first. And to me, it's like the least exciting thing that we're doing, because the playlists, I think, are the most opportunity for engagement. These do get a lot of plays, but they're for people that are already on your site. I think the playlists have an opportunity to maybe grow your audience and definitely keep them on the site longer. But this would certainly keep you on an article longer. I mean, if you're going to listen to it and then look through the pictures. But let's go ahead and listen to this example and just see how it sounds.
Audio Articles is brought to you by the Chesterfield Observer. To place your audio ad here, call us at 804-545-7502. As the school system struggles to cover bus routes, a veteran driver is filling the void with a new startup. As a Chesterfield County school bus driver for more than 2 decades, Cheryl Whalon was no stranger to the transportation struggles that have plagued the school system in recent years.
So that's great. So that's, pretty much the exact same audio file that's on the playlist. It's just a different format. This is getting an update soon too. I can tell you guys it's kind of top secret right now, but we're going to be this is a native WordPress player. We're going to be doing our own player that's going to have the dynamic ad insertion. So again, that ad was just the ad that shows up on every article, and it's the phone number, so it's basically a house ad. We could be running house ads layered with actual paying advertisers, things like that when we have the dynamic insertion. Yeah, so we still got our original attendees on with us. I mean, those are pretty much all the features that we had. I think we've seen all the attendees that we're going to get, Tara. So I appreciate you sticking with us the whole time. Now, I don't have a way. I thought I had a way to invite Tara on to say hello, since she's sat with us this whole time. Do you have that? Can you invite her to be a panelist, Tyler? If you got to go, Tara, no problem. I just wanted to invite you on in case you wanted to chat at all about, or if you had any other questions. Okay, you're just hanging. Okay, I wasn't sure if that's why you hung out. Okay, yeah, I think we'll end it here. That's pretty much the full demo. Unless, am I missing anything, Tyler? Let's just wrap it up and show them the sign up process real quick. So, right, go to ourhometown.com. You can click on that banner at the top, or it's under our features. We got some demonstrations there, some case studies, Sedalia Democrats there. And we're doing the first month, no cost at all. We'll set it up, no charge. It's a free 30-day trial. And then after that, depending on the usage, it's a monthly fee of $99 a month for the first 2 million characters transcribed. And that's going to be more than enough for any weekly paper. For dailies, they do start to go over that if they have everything transcribed. So then there's just a tiered pricing after that. But we're talking, about $100, $130 a month, probably the max investment. And then, if you can turn around and monetize it with a subscription add-on, if you can get an advertiser on there, that's basically right now our customers are clearly monetizing it through advertising. Again, they haven't really come up with a way to do it with subscriptions. That's, a clear ROI there, but obviously all the subscribers get the benefit of this. So that's the sign up process. And anyone at the New England Press that's interested in the trial can sign up and, hear what your articles sound like on the system. So we'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. But this video will be out on our social media, so you can, watch either demo. Thank you very much for your time, everyone. And we'll see you later. Contact us for also a prototype if you're interested in WordPress for your newspaper. Great job, Tyler. Thank you very much. Take care, Tara.